I've read the rules on this meet like 7 times, and it's so convoluted, and I respect that they tried to do something new, tried to make it a little more exciting. For those of you who don't know, it seems like what the meet was trying to do was do kind of like a double elimination bracket style swim meet, uh, where you had like 3 swimmers on each team going head to head. Um, and there was like halftime and then like uh, what timeouts and just a weird invitational meet 2 days with I it was all over the place for me. And then I was reading some of the comments on Swim Swam and nobody enjoyed it at all. So it's really
Oh,
weird stuff. And I think even there was a halftime where Kyle Sockwell and Elizabeth Beisel like raced in overalls or something. And it just I was like, what is going on? What is happening? Is this a swim meet or is this a circus? Is this a clown show? Like, what are we doing?
look, America, USA Swimming, college swimming, USAS. I'm going to give y'all the first step in solving all of your problems. Okay? Pay attention right now. If the idea to fix swimming comes from yourself or anybody within the sport, the immediate vicinity of the sport, it's a bad idea. Don't do it. Okay? You are so, I love using this word when I talk about this. Our sport is so inbred that we don't know our cousin from our uncle. Okay? Pause. Like, it's,
Mm.
we don't know what a good idea is. Yeah, clock it, clock it, homegirl. But we don't know what a good idea is like. And it's crazy because you'd think as a swimmer, you'd at least know what swimmers want to see. And like that's how deluded we are that we don't even understand what we want to see. Like, you know, it's there's so many gimmicks. Like we actually had a conversation about this in our group chat where I think it was something about NBA game halftime stuff. And it's like at that point, you've already bought the ticket to the game.
Right.
And that stuff now is extra stuff. It's fan service. Whereas in swimming, you're using the gimmicks and the fan service to sell the sport. And you cannot build your sport up on gimmicks to get people to watch the sport. The actual sport has to be entertaining. So you like, and what I mean, I just almost got me so frustrated. I'm hitting myself. Like this whole tournament style thing, you like one of the major things. And I remember I had a coach in high school who's club coach who said this, and he was like, "We need to separate the small teams from the big teams. Like they need to have their own separate championship meets." And I was like, one of the most important things about swimming is when you're a fast kid on the underdog team and you get to go whoop ass. Like that's so much fun. And that's like that underdog story, and everybody can relate to that. But somehow we're going to try and put a whole team of underdogs against one of the top teams in the country. Like, how do you think that it's what are we doing? So this is I mean, circle back to my main point. If the idea comes from anybody within swimming who doesn't have any affiliation with, I'll say it, one, Black people, particularly those who went to public school, just listen to them talk, right? If they talk like, I'm not gonna say that. Just listen to them talk. If they talk a certain way, you can probably take their ideas. If they don't talk a certain way, nah, okay? If the idea comes from within swimming, your idea is going to suck. Keep it pushing. Let somebody else come up with the idea. What are your thoughts on that?
That's actually some really good points there. And that's kind of why I was more accepting to a new USA Swimming CEO who's not from swimming, because swimming has suffered from this inbred ideas, this circular reach around of just bad ideas. there's one really bad, especially in the marketing. It's just so bad. Um, and I know it's college swimming when we're kind of talking about USA swimming, but they're all lumped in together with this. They're all, like you said,
Yeah,
cousin, uncle, kuncle. They're all in there.
Uncle.
Yeah. So I remember. I don't know if you remember this, but USA Swimming did this huge marketing push to try to get swimming to seem cool and fun. And
On the sport. Yeah, dude. I remember when they said that, I was like, I've never heard any of my boys say basketball is the funnest sport. Like,
hashtag
funnest sport.
funnest sport. I will never. I lost sleep over that.
Oh my
I will
God.
never. I will never forgive USA Swimming for that one. And that just sums up, like, that was their. They paid a lot of money to somebody to come up with that idea, and they ran with it. They doubled down on it, and they ran with it way too long, like way too long. And then they circled back on that one with I think it was like Swim Like a Girl.
I remember that.
I was like,
Oh
what
yeah,
are
Ledecky was kicking everybody's ass.
yeah. So I was like, I get what you're trying to say, but it's not coming out the way you wanted to say. It just
Yeah. And guys, I want to say this real quick. Obviously, we're bringing a lot of race into this podcast for this week, so we have to name this the race podcast, but or the episode. But I think this is something that needs to be said, and it's something that gets ignored. I think by the world, 8 billion people. The number one exports in the world are Black American entertainment. That's it. That's the number one export in the world. Basketball, football, rap. If you want to throw anything that we've created that we don't use anymore, rock and roll,
slang.
slang, yeah, how we talk. Like the number one export in the world is Black American entertainment. So that's why I'm saying these things that I'm saying. One, obviously, I'm competitive. I like being on top, but also because it's the truth. Like everything that's cool, the 6'7" stuff, that's Black gang culture. Okay,
Mhm.
6'7" means 6 feet deep, 7 feet long, which is how you measure out burying a casket. It's also police code for murder. Okay, so like all this stuff that is popular, pop culture, the king of pop, Black, but it's like that's where the popularity is. So like if you want to figure out how to make swimming more popular, like that's where you need to be looking. And gosh, there was one example I thought about this the other day that was money. And it was like swimming shies away from this, but there was one sport that I was like, they lean all the way in. Like, I can't remember what it was, but I'm sure it'll hit me in a second. But yeah, swimming's got to lean more into it. They got to lean more into it if they want to be who they say they want to be. And if you want to look not racist and fail, then so be it.
Yeah, it's just sad to watch from the sidelines how, like, the potential to be a cool sport that we could be, and then we just stub our toe at every corner, like, purposefully. You ever see that meme where the guy's riding the bike and then he pulls out a stick and then shoves it? That's that's USA Swimming. They're like so close to being cool, and then they're like, you know what? I'm gonna mess this up for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can make it sound like a motorcycle.
Right. I mean,
Oh man,
uh,
that's funny. Uh, God, I wish I could remember what sport this was because it was like I remember looking at the sport and I was like, oh, they're like actually like it ain't like they're all purposely like you would call these people racist how hard they're leaning into it, but I can't remember the
right.
sport it was.